Well, hello there. Hello for another Friday night. Um, all very welcome to join me. Just waiting here for people to join. Usually takes a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds actually, normally. And it's Friday. It's early February. Yep. Can't remember the date actually. And hold on. It's silly me. I have a phone in front of me. It's the 5th. Yes, 5th of February. And it's freezing cold outside. It's freezing cold outside. It's going to get colder apparently this weekend. They're expecting it to get colder. Well, that is if you're in Ireland. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's getting cold here in Ireland. Well, on tonight's stream, I'm going to, apart from chatting away with people that join, I'm going to be having a look at the FT17. Good evening, Commander Wolfman. How are you? Just saying what I'm going to be kind of covering this evening. I'm going to be having a look at the FT17, the little base I did for it. What I have coming next, what my next project is going to be, and really just any questions anybody wants to ask and things. Paul Sutton, good evening. How are you? You're very welcome. What's the weather like in your area? Because it's fucking freezing here. Really, really is. The temperature's gone right down. It started off not too bad. But this weekend, the temperature is slowly dropping. Yes, it's dropping. It's going to go down to sort of -3, I think. That's Celsius now. It's going to go down to -3 before the week is out. So hopefully it won't sort of stay that cold. Brian Loman, good evening. How are you? Commander Wolfman, good work on the FT17. Thank you very much. Yeah, for a kit that I wasn't really that I started off really enjoying it. I must admit, I really started off enjoying it. Then it just started getting a few little fit issues, then getting a few more fit issues. And for a finish, I was really pissed off with the fucking thing. I was glad I got it finished. Then once I had it painted, I'm happy enough with it again. Then I decided to do that little base for it with the photo frame, a bit of Das clay. And tonight, just before I came on, I'm after doing some work on the base, on getting the base coloured up. And I was going to use acrylic paints, but I decided to use a mixture of oils instead. So I just used some dark oils and light oils, sort of just dabbed them on in places, blended it all around and stuff like that. And I'm kind of happy enough with how that's turning out. Okay. Just getting there. That's all yellow masking tape. Tamiya tape, just to cover over the black base. And I have a decal here to go onto it then for a finish onto the base. Just kind of mark off and show what it is. So it'll just be a nice little, it's a grand little size. Because on its own, it's not going to look that great, with that little kit. It'll get knocked around in places like that. But when you put it on a little base, it just brings it up that little bit. And if you'd seen the last video, you saw how easy that was to make and how cheap it is. I think the whole thing, sort of, when you consider how much Das clay I used, maybe say €2 worth of clay, less than €2 worth of clay, so €1 worth of clay, €1 for the frame, and actually I got 2 frames for $1.50, so it's what, 75 cents. So adding on my bit of clay, little bits of paint, so for about €2, just over €2, making yourself a nice little base there for little vignette for small models. And you can sort of scale that up or down, whichever the case may be, for various sizes of bases and things like that. And it's just a quick way of doing it, and it works. It just, if you don't want to go down the full sort of diorama route of building walls and trees and all that kind of thing, and you want the emphasis on the vehicle itself rather than the scene, it's just a nice little display piece. So a bit of a light in my eyes there. I can kind of turn it away. There. Not too bad at all. So let's get on to the chat now, because loads of people are after joining there. So where was I? Mr. P, good evening. Derek's Rebel Builder. Hello, John. It's cold in Scotland as well. It always seems to be cold in Scotland, doesn't it, Derek? Well, I've never actually been to Scotland, so I don't know. But I'm just going by what people say. Scotland is cold. The only way you know it's summer. It's like in Ireland. The only time you know it's summer is when the rain just gets a little bit warmer. Dave Thomas, good evening, John, and everyone. Cold in Birmingham. I think Europe is getting a cold spell. We're getting a cold spell at the moment. Rob, good evening all. Liam Kelly, good evening, John. And all. Paul Sutton, dry but not too cold. Where are you, Paul? Where are you situated? Wesley Piss, hi, John. Hello, Wes, how are you? Checked out your channel. Everybody, get over there. Check out Wesley Piss's channel. He does mostly 1/16 scale remote control stuff, and I watched one or two of them. One I really enjoyed, the Stug, sort of some upgrades on the Stug, and looked absolutely fabulous. Really nice. Love to get my hands on a 1/16. I did the 1/16 Tiger there from Hobby Boss, but they're just 1/16. They're a little bit out of my price range, because that was in my price range. There's a T34 that they do that also is in my price range, but after that, forget about it. They're just ridiculous price ranges. But then again, if your hobby is the remote control thing and you can afford the hobby, then off you go and best of fun, because I'd love to be driving little tanks around the place. I'd love it. I even priced the 1/35 scale, because to me, apparently still do them. They're hard to get. They're hard to come by, but they still make them. And I did the well, it's not a remote control. It's the Mark IV World War I tank. And it's got a motors in it, and it single motor, so it just drives along. And even that I found a bit of fun. To turn it, you got to lift it up and turn it. But I can imagine sort of remote control. I always wanted a remote control tank. I remember from when I was a kid, I wanted a remote control tank, and I didn't care what size it was. I just wanted to play around with it and go up and over things and stuff. So I presume Wesley's having great fun. So get over there and check out Wesley's channel, lads. I'm sure you will not be disappointed anyway. Peter Rogers, good evening all. Del there, hello John, Commander Wolfman. It's cold in Surrey, but that's what a cup of tea is for. That's for sure. I'll be having my cup of tea around 10 o'clock when I finish here. I'll be going downstairs and I'll be having a nice mug of Charlie. Brian Loma, we're heading for -6 to -11 in 2 days. Ooh, thank God in Ireland we're not going to get that far. I think we're going to go down as far as -4. So that's about as cold as we get. The great thing about Ireland, and the great thing about Limerick, okay, where I'm situated, I'm kind of situated around the, say, Midwest. Okay, it's officially classified as the Midwest of Ireland. And we don't seem to get any extremes of weather. We don't get really cold. Doesn't get really hot in the summertime either. Any storms seem to miss us. All that cold weather during the wintertime that comes in from Eastern Europe, it kind of just about hits the east coast up around by Dublin. Once it kind of comes Midlands, then it hits the mountains, and that's it. Then by the time it comes to us, we just get the tail end of it. So it could be sort of -4 in Dublin on the east coast of Ireland, and we'd get it at -1. So we don't get the extremes, so we're lucky enough in that respect. But we do get plenty of rain. We do get plenty of rain. That's why Ireland is so feckin' green. All right, Don. That's why Ireland is so green. So Don is there. Good evening, John. Good evening, James Denzel. Hi, John. Hope you and yours are doing well. We're all doing fine. Thank you very much for asking. John Mason. Hi to all. John was one of our modelers of the week. Surprised himself. He logged on and found himself being a modeler of the week on the Facebook page, channel, whatever page. Yeah, page. So nice work there, John. Actually, I must admit, well deserved indeed. Ian DeVekis. Good evening, John. Kevin. Hello to all, and hello John as well. Hi, Kevin. How's things? Paul Sutton. Nottingdale, London. Nottingdale, London W10. So that's where Paul is. Wesley Piss. Thanks, John. Most appreciated. Hope you're all well. So that was thank you for the little shout out there. Get over there to subscribe to his channel, lads. That's Wesley. DM Vine. Hi from Poland. Hello. How are you? Dobre Nuts. Is that good night in Polish? Hello, Dzień dobry is good day. Dobre Nuts. Dobre Duchipy is good for you. Cześć is hello. That's about it for my Polish. And believe it or not, the little bit of Polish I did learn. I didn't learn it here in Limerick, where we've got lots of Polish people. Believe it or not, lots of Polish people in Limerick. But the last time I was in the Lebanon, was it the last time? Yeah, the last time I was in Lebanon with the UN, I suffered from some bad bout of ulcers, and one or two burst inside my stomach, and I ended up in hospital. And the military hospital was run by the Polish army, and it was a Polish hospital. And I ended up spending a month there, Polmedkoi, below in Nakura in Lebanon, and I spent a month in the hospital, and I was the only patient in the hospital for a month. So I had sort of doctors and nurses and just chatting away with me, and I was learning little bits of Polish here and there. Forgotten most of it since. I think I know more Arabic than I know Polish, and that's about it. Ferguson. You sound like a Galway man. Am I right? No, Limerick. Sham. How's it going? That's a bad Limerick accent. Kevin Egan. He's a Galway man. I'm Limerick. I'm from my troubles, from my thing. Anyway, Wesley Peace. Hi, Paul. Greetings from down in Portsmouth. That's where Wesley is. He's down in Portsmouth. Paul Sutton. Hi, gents. DR. Hello, John. And all else. Hope everyone's bills are going well. Greg Riley. Hello there. Greg is over from the Lake District. How's Greg? Good evening. Commander Wolfman. Sorry, chaps. Evening, by the way, to everybody. Ferguson. Okay, that answers my question. Okay. Delder is expecting snow from Sunday evening up here in Dublin. Yes, we're not going to get the snow. The warning was only for Dublin, for the east coast of Dublin. You're getting it at -4. Del, enjoy that one. We're going to go down to minus, I think it was -1 or -2, but you're going to get colder. It always gets about a couple of degrees colder. But the only thing then is when the summertime comes around, you get a little bit better summer. Nils Kunnert. Hello, all from the cold Canadian prairies, -30. And there we are talking about -3, freaking 30. Oh, thoughts of my testicles just disappeared. The thoughts of that. -30 with a wind chill. Good day for model building. You wouldn't find me outdoors. I guarantee you that much. I'd be sitting on top of the Super Sur in my toasted my buns, I can tell you that much. John Mason, thank you for your kind remarks. Well, they're well deserved, John. Well deserved indeed. Don does a fabulous job there on the Facebook page, and believe me, he just doesn't pick somebody because this person hasn't won in a while. For Modeler of the Week, you have to kind of earn it. You do have to earn it. There's no actual prize; it's just a sort of virtual pat in the back. But some great work there from lads. There's some unbelievable builders there, lads, on the Facebook page. Some really, really outstanding stuff. I don't really want to go mentioning anyone in particular, because when you single somebody out, it kind of takes them all the rest. But there are some really, really top builders there. So if you're not a member of the Facebook page, get over there and join it. Because you can post your own stuff up and you'll get some lovely comments from people, some nice handy tips and things. If people see that you're doing something totally wrong, they'll say it in the nicest possible way. I see what you did there. Really, really nice effect. But if you try this, that, and the other, it'll bring that effect out better. That's a nice way of saying things, rather than on some of the other Facebook pages that I've seen people's comments, and they can be pretty nasty. There's no need to be nasty. We're all at different levels, So, there's some really nice people commenting there on the Facebook page. James Denzel, -2 Fahrenheit with a wind here in Detroit. 2 inches of snow. Downtown Detroit. That's where all that's the big car place, isn't it? It's where all the cars used to be made. Anytime I ever see sort of Detroit now, it kind of always looks a bit derelict. Some quite big areas of it. Sort of General Motors area of it seems to be a bit derelict lately. That's the joys of foreign imports coming in, unfortunately. The American car sort of they've kind of farmed out a lot of their stuff, haven't they? They've farmed it out to other countries to do it for them. Kevin Egan, smiley face. Berg Ferguson, Shukran Gazilan. I don't know what the Gazilan, but Shukran is thank you in Arabic anyway. Shukran Siddiqui. Yes, thank you, friend. If anybody knows Arabic. Habibi salamtak atashula khamamtak. Don't go translating that, lads. Jacob, good evening. John Delder. Thanks, John. Do you come on the treaty county lol? Oh, sorry. We'll do come on the treaty county lol. Did your kits arrive from EModels, John? No, and they will never arrive from EModels because I ordered them from modelhobbies.co.uk. I don't get them from EModels. Anytime I ever sort of check out stuff on EModels, now the price is the exact same really as Model Hobbies, but they don't, when you're ordering from Ireland especially, they don't give you the postal costs. You've got, they kind of send them to you as an email after the fact. So you got to order them first, and then you kind of factor in. Then it's going to cost me some more out to postage, and then you've got to try and wait for that email to come, and then you pay the postage separately. Whereas with Model Hobbies, it's all done in the one. So if you've got, say, 120 quid to spend, and that's what you've got to spend, you can kind of tot it up, and when it comes to say 1650 or whatever, you can say, I can stick in another little brush or a sanding stick or something in there. So that's why I like the Model Hobbies, purely for that reason only, no other reason. And I've been with Model Hobbies now. I've been buying from Model Hobbies now for about 3 or 4 years. Never had a problem with them. Their delivery takes about a week, 10 days, sometimes even 2 weeks. But hey, I've never had a problem with him yet anyway. And this would be my first order post-Brexit. So I don't... motorbike starting up outside. And so I don't know if I'm going to get caught with customs as of yet. So we'll see. Commander Wolfman, let's see, there I go, touching this fucking thing again. Join JSM, we have cookies. Yes, we have cookies. Not computer type cookies. We will send you chocolate biscuits, chocolate chip cookies and milk. Derek's Rebel Builder would agree, some amazing stuff out there, that's for sure. On there, should I beg your pardon? Jake Hope. There used to be a big tank arsenal at Detroit. Oh, was there? Nice one. Would that have been, say, World War II, when a lot of the motor companies in America switched over to making the Shermans, because I know they weren't just made in one place; they were made in loads and loads of different places. And I know that one or two of the factories then, after the war, kept kind of getting government contracts, so they stopped sort of making cars and they switched over to making purely over to making tanks altogether. So, is it still going though? Where is the Abrams made? Where in America is the Abrams made? Mr. P, wet but not too cold in Hebron, next to the tune. Hebron. Lloyd Morant, good evening, John, on what is a very mild evening here in Jersey. You're lucky there in Jersey. You always seem to get the continental weather, don't you? You get it very nice, especially in the summertime. Channel Islands, you get the best of weather in the Channel Islands. James Gienzel, yes, my wife came over from the Philippines. We drove home to the city of Detroit and she looked around at the burnt out and abandoned buildings and asked me if there had been a war here. Yeah, unfortunately. Like, I watch, from, say, watching television, there's I can't remember whether it's hardcore porn. Not porn. Porn. Bit of a Freudian slip there. But hardcore porn. That's done from Detroit, and there's a couple of other of those these car builders, independent car builders, where they would they be car builders because they don't really build a car. They get in an old-fashioned car and they do them all up, making them into hot rods and all that kind of thing. There's one or two of them in Detroit as well, isn't there? Ferguson, love it. I know what that means. Spent 5 years teaching English in Egypt. So you know what my Habibi Salamtak at Shula Khamamtak means. Yes, for you, my love. And anyway, Salam Alaikum. Anyway, Liam Kelly, has anyone ever built the Joseph Stalin tank in 1/35th scale from Zvezda? Yes, I have built it, and it is a lovely kit. And I have heard people slating that kit, that said it was a horrible kit. I thought it was a lovely kit. I thought, okay, it's basic. You don't have very much to do with it, but I could find nothing wrong with it. So therefore, people were saying, oh, horrible fit and all this, that, and the other. No, I didn't have that problem. Worked perfect for me. So I think it was one of the first Zvezda kits that they did of the new line of Zvezdas, and it's a nice kit. It is a nice kit. My humble apologies for getting that wrong. Sorry, I hope you don't get caught by customs. Yeah, if I do, it's not going to be that much anyway, because the order only came to about 100 quid. Well, just over 100 quid. So I don't know. Might get caught for 20 quid. If I do, it's still cheaper than fucking buying in Ireland, unfortunately, because we get fucking screwed. Wrapped around a helix, says you. Jake Hope. Yeah, World War II, it was even in use up until the late Cold War. I think it's still used today. Yes, that's the tank factory. Yeah. Derek's Rebel Builder. John, when did the Terminator? Oh, when you did the Terminator, did you do the camouflage freehand? If so, what PSI did you use? I'm trying to remember now because I have both of them. The thing is, they're both downstairs. I did 2 Terminators. I did one was a Hobby Boss one, and I did the Zvezda one. I think I used Tamiya tape just in squares for the camouflage on one of them. I'm not sure which one. Around 15-20 psi. That's what I used. That's what I use on my little compressor. Now, whether that is accurate or not, I do not know, because the dial, you just have to trust it. But it's between 15 and 20 psi. I seem to spray most of my stuff at. When I'm doing, say, when I take off the front nozzle, when I'm spraying it normally, I leave that little thing on there at the front. Okay, when I'm sort of spraying normally. But if I'm doing finer, more detailed work, I take off this front one, right? So I leave it like that, and you can get kind of finer lines, and I drop it down to about 10 psi for that. It just brings the paint down slower, so it's not going to kind of brush out. And when it comes to airbrushing, anyway, I'm not an expert. I'm far freaking from it. I kind of tend to just do the bare minimum and try and get most of my effects and things from weathering, because after you give it washes and all this kind of stuff, I'm still playing around with it. I'm watching Night Shift. He did some fabulous kind of pre-weathering with an airbrush, whereas he sort of did dust effects and a couple of other little bits of effects with the airbrush itself. Get over and check out his stuff. I'm sure you all do already, because he's absolutely fabulous, really, really good. But he's doing a Russian one with a mine clearer thing in the front of it. Put up another video there today, and really, really good, really, really good. And watching him, I'm going to try out a couple of his different techniques and things. Also tried out that I can't pronounce it now. It was the Vintinal or something like that shading, where you say your dark colors from underneath and your light colors from the top, and kind of then that's your pre-shading, and then do your main color over that. I tried that once or twice. Kind of okay. It needs a bit more practice. So that's more with figures, though. It's all practice, I find, with the airbrush. The more I use it, the better I seem to get at it. But when you're dealing with sort of 1/35th scale, you don't really get that much chance to sort of do plenty of painting with it. Not the way I use it anyway, for getting down the main colors, but like everything else, it's all down to practice. The more you use it, the better you get at it. But usually PSI wise, between 15 and 20 is the main one, and then bring it down if I find it's coming out a bit too fast, or bring it up if it's not if I'm not getting enough of it. Mr. P says Newcastle John. Jake knew that one. James Genzel, U.S. Army Tank and Automotive Command TACOM, is still operating on a big fort-sized campus in Warren, Michigan, north of Detroit. All right, is that where they do the Abrams? So, James, Anyway, Commander Wolfman, I think Joseph Stalin is an amazing model. Oh, I think that Joseph Stalin is an amazing model. Got that one myself. Yes, I thought you were saying I think Joseph Stalin is an amazing person. What planet are you on? Then I read it properly and talking about the tank. James says shades of the old Chrysler tank still exist, but they have been repurposed as industrial trade school and light industry. Oh, that's the Detroit tank arsenal, isn't it? The Chrysler tanks. All right. Liam Kelly, thank you, John. Got it free, so happy days. Yes, happy days are here again. James says General Dynamics has a plant in Sterling Heights, where I live, and they do modifications on Abrams, Bradleys, and MRAPs. Yeah, I like the MRAPs actually. They're quite nice actually. I'm going to start building a few more modern bits and pieces. I have two coming now within the next. I've calculated it should be here Tuesday. I have two modern kits coming out. I have a Bradley and the Leopard 2 A6. But my next build, once I'm finished this, okay, give another flash out to that one. There's the FT17 on its little base. And the great thing about those little bases, like I said, if you watch the video where I kind of stuck it in place and everything else like that, it's not going to fall off. And everything came out nicely in that. Just have to finish it off, remove the tape and stick on the decal on the front, and that will be quite happy with that. But when that is finished, then I'm back into my German armor and another old kit. Yes, an old kit. This is an old Italieri Marder 3. Okay, I just had a look at it there a few minutes ago, a few minutes before I came on air. It's the horrible to me or Italieri plastic, very brittle type plastic. The figures, it gives two figures. They're bad. They are bad figures. But like everything else, if they're bad, I don't use them, so I won't be using them. And but the rest of the kit looks kind of nice. There's some nice pictures of the made up one at the back of it. And on this one, I am seriously thinking of doing some hairspray chipping on it. So I'm going to give it an ordinary sort of camouflage, a light kind of camouflage on it, and then hairspray, then white paint, and do a kind of a winter effect, winter whitewash on that one. So if you're interested in sort of watching me do some winter camouflage, stay tuned for that one. That's the Marder 3 from Italieri. That'll be my next build. There, the M1 were built in Lima Army Tank Plant since 1980. Detroit Arsenal Tank Plant 82 to 96. No. Derek's Rebel Builder, thanks for that. Commander Wolfman, sorry, John, I meant the tank. All right. Mr. P, any further forward on your camera setup? I'm sure we will make a huge difference to your presentations. Well, I have the camera. I have that part. I have part A. Okay. I'm still sort of saving up to improve the computer side of it, because the camera won't link up with the Chromebook. I can't get it to link with that. But I have been using this. I've been taking some lovely photographs. So as soon as I do get my hands on a laptop or a computer of some kind of thing, I'm going to where are we now? There we go. I've taken some pictures of the of this thing in doing the build of it. I don't know whether we're going to pick them up or not. No, we're not. It's too much light or whatever. But playing around with the camera, yeah, I can only wait to see the quality is quite good. I did one or two little mini videos, and like I said, all I can do is kind of view them on the screen and that. So I want to upgrade the laptop now next, then get a camera stand so I can sort of zoom in, and then basically we're way in the hack then. But shall we say, it's going to take time because all these things cost money, and I don't have any money. Simple as that. I have a Mickey Mouse Army pension. I'm working small hours as home care for healthcare home care. I only do a couple of hours a week with that. So, everything takes time. Everything takes time. And it'll take as long as it takes. As simple as that, unfortunately. But it'll get there. It'll get there. And I'd like to make it that little bit better. Which is the whole purpose of the point of the thing. But I have the main part anyway, the camera. I pick up a laptop easy enough. I get one. I get my hands on one. My name is Commander Wolfman. My name is Project is the Paul Defiant, starting it next Wednesday. I have decided that Bismarck is my next big ship model project, which I will start in March. Okay. My name is Project is the Paul Defiant. Well, your next project is the Paul Defiant. Commander Wolfman, you want... Next, not name, God. I'm the same. I'm always doing it when I'm typing. The amount of things that I've typed wrong is unbelievable. You think that's bad? You should see some of the things I've typed out and sent on text messages on the phone. I remember one time I was getting I work for a company that sort of the crowd I work for, they sort of contact me every now and then saying check out a new client or whatever, they give me the address and said somebody will meet me there. I go to the house, I meet the person, meet the service user, as in they're not called clients anymore, but the service user, and they give me a rundown of the person. But one day I got a text message saying, hi, this is Chanel, that's her name. She's one of my bosses, or one of the people in the office. And we had a nice little conversation saying that the family had contacted her saying that I was doing a great job and blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, thanks very much. And a couple of seconds later, anyway, I get a text from my girlfriend, my partner, Rachel. And she was just saying a couple of sort of personal things and whatever. And so I went back on it. I did a little bit of work, went back onto the phone, picked up the phone, and there was a text there from Chanel again, which I'd forgotten, which I didn't actually read because I thought it was the message from Rachel. So I just hit reply anyway, and I went, I love you too, babes. Miss you so much. Can't wait to get home, and blah, blah, blah. Send. Sent it to Chanel. And then spent about 5 or 6 text messages apologizing and trying to get out of it. And luckily enough, she kind of saw the funny side of it. But yeah, not as bad as what you did, John. But anyway, John, what type of Bradley did you order? Those have an interior, etc. Yes, is the Meng Bradley, the M2A3 with the interior. Okay, I did the M3A3 without the interior about four years ago. So now I'm doing the M2A3 with the interior, because I wanted to do the one with the interior, and I wanted to do the Bradley again because it's such a lovely kit. And when I did it, the one I didn't do a bad job of it. I must admit, I did not do a bad job of it. But it was only kind of, I'd only kind of just got back into modeling. So, shall we say, I know now that I do a much better job of it. So that's why I ordered it again. I want to do it all over again. So that's the Bradley that I got. Wesley, I forgot to mention, I did reply to your comment on my video. I upgraded my Stug to a metal chassis, but I kept the plastic chassis and chucked it in the box in the shed. Nice one. Yes, I did read your reply, Wes. Thank you very much. And I'm considering what you asked me as well. I'm going to use the radio board, so everything else is there. Be happy to send it over if you would like it. I'm sure that I have a radio board somewhere for it to work. Yeah, I'm very, very interested in that, Wes. We'll talk more about it later on. And I could source an upper hull for it too. Nice one. Very, very nice. Peter Rogers. Yep, been there, John. Ash Lacra. Hi, John. Have you been back on Wish? No, I have not been back on Wish. Shall we say I spent my wad for these 2 months. So I'm kind of back down to sort of broke again. So I got to kind of wait till the funds build up again, and a couple of more hundred views on a couple of thousand views would be doing it nicely on the YouTubes, and get a few bob off them. As it is, I get about I think it works out around about €30 a month. No, about €40 a month actually now. So I get paid every 2 months because you got to get to a €70 before they'll pay you out. So I get about €80 every 2 months, and sometimes it's 90, and that's what pays for the kits, paint, things like that for the channel. So that's what keeps the channel going, is the revenue from YouTube's. So I'm very, very appreciative for that, because basically that's what it pays for my hobby, and I'm quite happy with that. Otherwise, if it was up to me, I'd be kind of buying a kit maybe every 2 months, one kit. So I'm happy the way things are going. Where are we? Derek's Rebel Builder. Hi, have you tried halos? And if so, which ones? Halos. I do not know what you were talking about. Sorry, Derek. Could you be a bit more specific on that? What are halos? Or are you talking about helicopters, basically? Is it? Halos. Liam Kelly, you will enjoy unboxing the Bradley 25 bags and sprues. Yes, I have watched a couple of unboxings, but if anybody's watched any of my unboxings, I'm very, very technical with mine. I go into unbelievable detail, calling out what every part is. Sure. DR, I have a 350 Academy Bismarck going as a side project. My goodness, ships are a completely different animal from armor kits. That is for sure. I did one ship. I did one 700 scale Bismarck. I really, really enjoyed it, I must say. And I can't remember who made it though. I think it was Academy, not 100% sure. If you go down through my videos, it's there. And believe it or not, it actually floats. It floats perfectly. It really does. I brought it out. Abby brings out a pool out the back during the summer. I had it floating around the pool, and it floats perfectly. It didn't sink or didn't topple over or anything like that. So I do like ships. I do like the ships. Don Nickel, Derek, a number of JSMSM did the Zvezda Mill Hind 24 in 48 scale. He gave it 10 great reviews, but also, yeah. Derek, a member of JMSM, did the Zvezda Mill 24 Hind in 48 scale. Sorry, Don. Yeah. Have you tried Halos? So therefore, obviously, you're talking about helicopters. I have been looking for a Huey, a nice Huey to do. I want to do a Huey gunship, Vietnam era, in 35th scale. So I've been on the lookout for one of them. I know Academy do one, but it's very, very hard to freaking get. Apart from that, I did one. I did I can't remember exactly. It's a little Bell one. It's called the Little Bird. The only thing about helicopters is with the rotors on the top. The bodies of them are nice and small and fit them on a thing, but it's the rotors that make. How do you display them? Displaying them, you need plenty of space to display helicopters. That's why I said I'd like to do a Huey UH1 because of it's the single rotor, and you can have the sort of forward and back, and you can fit it on a shelf, so it'll be quite nice. You could even do sort of a nice little slimish diorama for it. And I know there's a figure set out there called Make It to the Chopper. I think it's done. I'm not sure who do it actually, but there is a nice figure set out from guys running for the helicopter, and you can get some nice figures for the inside of it as well. So you can do a lovely little dio for the Huey. Does the M2A3 have the Busk armor? Looking forward to that build. You did a fantastic job on the M2A3. I did on the M3A3. Yeah, it is. It does have Busk actually. I think it's basically the same one. It's not. No, it's not, because one is the cavalry one and one is the infantry. That's the difference in the two, the M3 and the M2 and the Bradleys. The M3A3, which is the one I did earlier, is the cavalry one, and this one is the infantry one, the infantry fighting vehicle. And the only difference is the main difference really is the interior. One or two minor differences on the outside as well, but it's down to the interior, as in the amount of people that fit into the back of it, and the more people fit into the infantry one than the cavalry one. Then Derek's Rebel Builder done. Yes, I'm getting that in 135th scale next. Oh, that'd be nice. 135th scale Hind, because they're a big mother, aren't they? Mark Legato. I'm sorry, lads, if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. I do my best. Hi, John. Good evening, everyone. Don Nickel Derek it's in 48 scale. Liam Kelly. I had great fun with the Bradley. One thing is that I bought it too early in my bad time, so I must get another once to do it better. Yeah. So don't beat me. Yeah, like I said, I did the M3 when I just sort of got back into building. I know I didn't do a bad job of it. I must admit, I did not do a bad job of it, but I know that I do a much better job of it now. And I was going to get the same kit again, but I said, why get the same one again? Why not get, say, the a slightly better one because well, it's got an interior, so it's even going to be more fun. And I've watched a couple of builds of it, and it does look. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice kit. Wesley, try the 172nd Flower Class Corvette by Matchbox, now produced by Revell. I have converted them to RC, and they sail beautifully. Now, there's a nice idea for you. That's RC boats. Oh, you want a big pond, and you can go sail them around the place. Derek's Rebel Builder, yes it is. Sorry, John, Mark, Legato again. Any recommendations on the Zvezda M4A2 in 135th? Thinking of getting it. The M4A2. What is the M4A2? Is that the Sherman? Yeah, M4 Sherman from Zvezda. There she is. There's the Zvezda Sherman, the new one that they came out with last year. Lovely kit, absolutely lovely kit. The bogies are the nicest set of bogies I've ever made on a Sherman. I've done a couple. I have a couple up there. Beautiful kit, beautiful fit all around, and it is really, really nice. A nice kit. So I definitely recommend it. Oh, popped off. It doesn't have that, the normal kind of little thing. It's got the little splayed sides, and it doesn't have that. It's just a straight on piece. But yeah, lovely kit. Very nice and neat. Oh yeah, it's got a little. This one, if I remember, it's you've got to kind of squeeze it. There we go. Yeah, you've got to kind of squeeze it in a bit. It's got little prongs for it to fit in, and you give it a little squeeze, and they pop in. But yeah, it's a lovely kit. Definitely highly recommend that one for you. That's the so even GB Model Zones said the exact same M4A2 cracking kit indeed. Mark says no problem, John. Everyone gets it wrong. Liam Kelly, Peter, is the Wasp the flamethrower Jeep? There's a question for Peter. Is the Wasp the flamethrower Jeep? Mr. P, 1/18th Hobby Bus UH1 Huey, but expensive. The 1/18th scale. I'd freaking say it's expensive. And it's going to cost you a fortune to build it as well, then in glue with paint, especially paint as well, 1/18th scale. Ooh, that's a biggie. And you want a big place to to show it as well. Mark, yep, Sherman. Peter Rogers, no, the Wasp is the naval version of the Scout helicopter. Well, there you go. GB's Model Zone M4A2 cracking kit. Yes, it is. Ashley, do you like Airfix kits? Which is your favorite manufacturer? I've got a couple of favorite manufacturers, and if that basically makes sense, and I'll explain why. My favorite overall would be Tamiya. Okay, but I'm referring to that as when I say overall, it's got the best range of the type of stuff that I like. Okay, for German armor. And they're the older kits, so there isn't very much sort of intricate building and photo etch and all that kind of stuff. So I really like the Tamiyas. Love Zvezda kits, the newer Zvezda kits. The only thing is their range isn't big enough. They're very kind of they're expanding their range, but the range like I said, that the M4A2 is a beautiful kit. All any of the Zvezda kits I've ever done have been top notch. I can't fault any of them in any way. Okay, So I like Zvezda kits. Um, I've done a few Dragon, not very many Dragon kits, but I've done a few. Um, a little bit over-engineered in places, okay? But it depends what you want them for. If you want to do sort of a reasonably good battle damaged one, where you're going to be sort of missing panels and things like that, then the Dragon kits are absolutely fabulous for that, because you don't have to go chopping pieces off. You just leave it out. Like fenders and things like that. The detail is that little bit more, just a little bit better. But if you're just doing the kit as undamaged and all hatches closed and all that kind of thing, then they're too engineered. They're way over engineered for what you get, because once they're painted up, like I have a Panzer IV. It's downstairs now at the moment. I have a Panzer IV. It's a Dragon kit, and I have it right beside another Panzer IV, which is an Academy kit. And now once they're all painted up and everything else with the hatches all closed, I can't remember which is which. Do you know what I mean? So once you do it that way, they're hard to tell apart. If it was a case of you had hatches open and you've got all that lovely interior hatch detail, all that kind of stuff, then Dragon are pretty good as well. So, and Academy kits are nice as well. So, like I said, saying if you got a favorite manufacturer, for me, it's literally down to, I have a couple, and that's about the easiest way I can explain it, which makes no sense. It's a bit of a ramble more than a kind of an explanation. Like I love the Tamiya kits. I love the old Tamiya kits. I suppose it would be easier to ask me, which kits do I not like? Taglieri, Revell, RPM, Lindbergh. Did a bad Lindbergh one. Plastic was like toy plastic rather than model plastic, if you know what I mean. It's like, when you get these pre-made sort of toys that you have a truck, but you can kind of, there's nothing inside and it's just the outside of a truck. It's that kind of plastic on it. Nothing glue didn't want to take anywhere in it. So like I said, it's easier for me to get, like, even though my next kit is going to be an Italieri kit, I don't like the plastic of them. I don't like the actual build of them. But once they're built and you go on to painting them, there's very little difference there. But yeah, it's easier for me to decide which kits I don't like rather than kits that I do like, because Takom kits are brilliant. IBG are good. They're Polish. I think they're actually quite good as well. I did a couple of their trucks. Hobby Boss are nice. Meng are brilliant. I like Meng. So there's loads and loads of really good manufacturers out there. Loads of them, absolutely unbelievable amount. And I've never done an Airfix. Of the new Airfix, the Airfix 135th scales. I haven't done any of those. I have sort of checked them out, all right, and most of them sort of seem to be copies are using the Academy molds, and they're I don't know, I've heard good and bad. Now, I haven't ordered any of them. I haven't made any of them, so I can't really say. But I've made, say, the old 176 scale Airfix kits years ago. That's what got me into modeling in the first place, with the old Airfix kits. So I have a certain sort of fondness for Airfix. But shall we say we leave it out? We'll leave it at that. Now, where are we? There was some Ash. Wesley says, I do love the Westland. I love a Westland Wasp. I've built 441 HMS Falmouth. Jacob, I think the Wasp was a flamethrower variant of the Universal Carrier. Sausage Fingers says, I recently did the Airfix Honey tank. Great build. So there you go. The Airfix kits are not that bad at all. But I suppose it's like every other thing. It's literally down to each specific kit. Because even one or two of the Tamiya kits can be a bit, I wouldn't say bad, but a little bit iffy. A bit basic. Some of the older kits, like the Panther A, you pick it up for about a tenner now. And it's not a bad kit, but it's kind of basic. You got those holes underneath. They're not kind of sealed up under the track, just over the tracks. And like everything else, it depends what you want to use it for. If you trade any Tamiya 148th tanks, I built a few of them and the same quality as the 135th, but takes up less space. Great detail, no assembly issues. No, I've only ever done one 148th scale, and it was an Academy Merkava. I didn't like it. No, it turned out quite nice and all that, but I don't know. I like my 135th scale. I do like my 135th scale. It's just down to sort of size and things like that. I'd love to do 1/16th scale the whole time. It's easier to work on, parts aren't too small. But yeah, when it goes down anything smaller than 1/35th scale, kind of loses me. Ian Kelly, I've done the Husky in a few MRAP. I have the Husky with mine plow on it. Ooh, I've never seen a Husky with a mine plow. Nice idea. Dave Thomas, a very good friend, recently gave me 3 classic Tamiya kits, a Panzer IV, Stuck 4, and the T-34 76. Can't believe how nice those old kits are. They are absolutely fabulous. I did a little series there of classic old Tamiya kits. Farting again. Wind. I did a little series there recently of some classic old Tamiya kits. I think I did about 6 of them in a row, and every single one of them I enjoyed. Every single one, really, really enjoyed it. Now the detail isn't super on them. You probably get whinged at left, right, and centre by rivet counters, but they are an enjoyable build. They're enjoyable to work with because you have no problems with the fit, finish. It's grand. They're just nice. They're just lovely, lovely kits. The old Tamiya kits, I must say. The Airfix Honey is a rebox of the Academy kit. Yeah. Nice little kits indeed. The Airfix Tiger 1 kit, also a rebox of the Academy Tigers. So have an eye on the pricing of each. Yeah, in other words, check out, are you paying a little bit more because it's in an Airfix box for the same kit? Just because it's Airfix, it doesn't mean that it's actually made by Airfix. Where are we now? Trying to catch up on this thing here because we're nearly finished. It's gone 10 o'clock. I just want to finish off the last of the chat. Where are we now? Boom, 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 boom. Peter Rogers, yes, John, Tacom are very good, and it's looking like Airfix are on track to making a good comeback. Yes, they are if they make their own molds. If you keep using other people's molds and people start finding out about it and things like that, unless you're going to be competitively priced against them, it's not going to do anything for you. Like I said, if they do their own molds and their molds are quite good and their plastic is good and everything else, yeah, they'll make a comeback. But for armor, for aircraft, they've always sort of been pretty good. I don't make aircraft myself, but I do watch people's videos and things like that on them. And some of the Airfix stuff is actually quite good and has been getting better over the years. But let's hope they keep doing the same kind of thing with their armors and make some of their own molds. I got the Italieri Fury Sherman to do. Looking forward to building it. note of your YouTube build when it comes to placing the stowage, and the instructions can be a bit off. Yes, they can, Mark. And also be careful with the return rollers along the top, because they are mounted that little bit too high, and you're going to have problems. If you mount them where the locators are for them, you're going to have problems with the tracks. Okay, so what I'd suggest, believe it or not, is leave them off, build your undercarriage, the whole lot there where the thing goes on, fit your tracks, and then re-drill and re-put in the return rollers at the top after that. If I can get it down there now. There we go. There's the Italieri Fury Sherman. And as you can see, I mean, I'm even after losing one of them. It's after coming off there. But the original mounting of them is they're too high, and you're going to have problems getting the track in. Okay. I've had to break them off. And when I break them off, then you're trying to glue them on awkwardly. Whereas if you kind of get at it from the start, you can kind of get in there and you can do, you can sort of drill them out properly and get them fitted in afterwards. But apart from that, it's a lovely kit. I'd no real fit issues with anything else. The stowage, most of the stowage I had to make myself, because I wanted to copy the one from the film, because they don't give you the stuff from the film, they just give you decals. They give you the decals, all right, but they give you that base, as in that they give you the Fury decal for the barrel, but the stowage they give you is not the stowage that's depicted in the film. I had a big whinge about that in the video. Says bedtime for me, John. Thanks for the chat. Interesting as always. Good night to all. GB's Model Zone. A lot of Airfix kits are Reeboks and the Academy kits, except for the Cromwells. They're all Airfix. Oh, Cromwells are their own. Nice. I might get a Cromwell. So it's a tank I do like, actually. I do like the Cromwell. Where are we now? There's so much here. A lot of the John Mason. I did the Airfix Honey as well. I love the finished tank, but I was not happy with the build. Sorry to differ. No, there you go. Some people say they like it, some people don't. John Mason, good night. Ian and Delder, speak to me, oh toothless one. Far to speak to me, oh toothless one. Yeah, I'm a bit windy today. I don't know. Mrs. M made me a lovely fish pie, and I love the fish pie. Nice bits of salmon in it and some smoked haddock and mashed potato and into the oven, grilled on top. Beautiful. But it gives me wind. I don't know why, but it gives me wind. Paul Bryson, has anyone built Mitchell 148 scale Italieri? What's it like? Anybody built the Mitchell bomber, I presume? Peter Rogers says one of the good advantages of 148 is there's plenty of aircraft that will go with them to make a good diorama. Yes, if you want to go down that line, then 148 scale is quite good. GB's Model Zone. The only problem with the T3476 is the rubber band tracks. Just replace them. Yeah, I will say that the Tamiya's T3476 tracks are they're okay. They're okay. I've used them. I don't find any problem with them, but they are a bit thin and a bit sort of lacking in detail. You could get some and you can get some reasonably priced aftermarket ones if you want to go down that line. Liam Kelly says Airfix 148 operation headache kits look good. Mr. P, good night all. Good night, Mr. P. So I'm going to leave it at that, lads. Peter Rogers says it's a real shame no one's made a real effort to do The Kelly's Heroes Sherman. Yes, that would be cool, wouldn't it? The extra little bits of barrels and the speakers and all that kind of thing. But scratch building, make your own. Anyway, lads, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll catch you all again live next Friday night. Don't forget to join me during the week. I should be finishing this off over the weekend. I'll be doing a video tomorrow to show the stage that I got to there with that. Okay, we just throw a little bit of light in the subject. No, still very shiny. That's kind of drying out nicely now. I've got the groundworks done on it. Got the groundworks done on it, so I'm happy enough with that. So a little bit of dry brushing in that, and then dull coat over everything, and that will make it kind of nice and take that shine off it. The thing about using oil paints is that they are quite shiny. So when it comes to sort of picturing them and filming them and stuff like that, you get a horrible sort of double shine back off them. So anyway, lads, I'll catch you soon during the week. Don't forget to join me for those. Thanks everybody for taking your time out to join me. I really do appreciate it, lads. And listen to me waffle on and just chat away. So I'll see you all next week. Take care. Go out and buy yourself a model, build it, enjoy it. Stay safe, lads. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all soon. Take care. Bye.